Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different. We haven't made one of these before. We're going to be making a swag using a evergreen swag. I picked up this one at the wreath shop. If you guys watched my last video, I actually filmed today, this morning. Now it's afternoon time, so I picked this up at the wreath shop. If you guys didn't check out my last video, it was an unboxing of my order from the wreath shop. So if you guys want to see that video and see what I picked up, all the materials for this were in that video. So I kind of moved over my camera a little bit because we're gonna be working with a little bit of a longer base. So what I first do is it's a teardrop swag, meaning it starts on top, it's going to be a lot fuller up here, and it's going to come down like a cone. So like an upside down triangle almost, where it's thick on the top and it comes down and it gets real skinny, and then it ends with this like little like, but we don't want it just to be this greenery. So we're going to be adding other greeneries in it to help bring out more spring and summer, because that's kind of what this wreath is actually for. So it does come with a hook. Up here, this is going to be the hook where you can hang it on your nail or your whatever you're going to hang it on, a door or a wall or your front door. Or for instance, this is a custom order of mine, so I'm filling this order right now. They had bought a Christmas swag, not for me, from someone else, and it came on this board. But the nail on the board, so then there's a nail on this like old rustic board. And you can take the swag off and put something else up for the seasons. So she had a Christmas one. I actually have it in my back room right now. She gave it to me to kind of reference, so that way I know how big I need it. This is going to be a little bit smaller because it's a 24-inch swag. The one that she had right now, it was not a swag like this. It was just like a bunch of pieces of evergreen with some berries. So this one's going to be a little different, but I think it's going to look really cool at the end. So what we're going to be doing is adding greenery into this to help bring out more summer and spring and not have so much of this green Christmassy looking. You can use these swags year round. That's why I'm using it, but for Christmas, you might not add as much greenery into it just because this is more like a Christmas greenery. But for spring, you don't want all this greenery showing, so you're going to add in some other greenery to help bring it out and bring it the more of a spring summer feel to it. So the first thing you're going to do when you get these is they're going to come up scrunched. They're going to come in, especially when you're getting them shipped to you, they're going to all come like fully compacted to help minimize the space in your box when you get it shipped. But when you get it, you're going to want to fluff it out before you do anything to it. So like I'm doing is I'm just going to fluff it out. The customer actually sent me a picture of an arrangement that she had, like a flower arrangement in like a white rustic mason jar of different flowers that are in the arrangement, and she kind of wanted the flowers in the swag and the colors in the swag to kind of match that thing, or match the arrangement, so it kind of helps, because this is going to go in our bathroom. So yes, so what she had in that picture was, or in the jar arrangement, was so like that, you guys. It's starting to fluff out and look real nice. So that's what we're trying to go with, the illusion of it. It's going to be like a little bit more 3D. So yes. So back to my story, or what I was saying, was it had, here, I'll just show you what I'm going to be using in this wreath. So they had white roses in it. So I picked up a pack of these white roses from the wreath shop. And if you guys want to see any of these, what are they called? Like the number, you can go on, the SKU number, you can go on to my latest video and I showed them all in there. It's just there's going to be so many of them, I don't want to sit here and show you them. It also had this like a greenery, like with berries in it, so I picked up this one. Actually dropped a little berry. They're actually like little cotton fluffy balls things. I had pink lilies, or not lilies, daisies, so I picked up this bush, so I'll just pick the pink ones out of it. And then it had a bunch of different greenery and berries, and I have a bunch of greenery over here that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to show you it all because I don't even know what I'm going to all use in it yet. I picked up like this bush. I have some mixed bushes that we're going to be using like right now to get into the greenery. I have this, which I don't know if I'm going to use it, plastic beaded grass type looking. I got some foam eucalyptus that I could use. I got a bunch of sprays of this. It's actually called, it's called like Boston Fern or something. I picked up 8 of these. I'm probably not going to use them all in the same one, but they're real long, so I'd cut them probably if I'd use them. And then I got some boxwood that I usually use. It's more my cheaper alternative one. And yeah, that's basically what I picked out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with water flowers at the end. Actually, what we're going to start with is our, I think we're going to start with our bow. And let me show you the ribbons we're going to be using for this bow. I gotta find them. They're somewhere around here. Where did they go? Oh, right here. Sorry, you guys. My table back over here. Behind me is a disaster. So I have these 2 ribbons. I have a burlap 2.5 inch and a 1.5 inch white and pink stripe. So we're gonna go for a nice like bow on top, and then the flowers are gonna come underneath it. If you guys know what I'm saying when I say that. So we're gonna go with in with a bow with some tails. I'm gonna try to think how long I want my tails to be. I also have my hot glue skillet and my hot glue gun plugged in. I'm gonna use the hot glue skillet mostly for all the different greenery and the flowers. But if you don't have a hot glue skillet, hot glue gun works perfectly fine. I plugged in a hot glue gun just in case I need it for something. I'm not sure what I'm gonna need it for, but I plugged it in. So right now I'm gonna grab a pink, not green, pink pipe cleaner. I pulled out the green one on accident. Okay, so I picked out just a pink pipe cleaner to finish our bow at the end. Other tools you might need for this, you're gonna need for sure a wire cutters to snip off the stems, and a scissors probably, or you can use the wire cutters too, just to pick off the tags and the stuff that's on the different greenery. So yeah, so we're gonna start with our 2.5 inch. You could use more than 2 ribbons if you decided to. You don't have to put a bow in it at all. I'm just gonna go with a bow because the swag that she had for Christmas had a bow, and it looked pretty cool. So I think we're gonna put a bow on top just to help bring it a little bit more, bring it to life a little bit more. So yes. And I did want to talk to you guys about something. I want to do a giveaway, not yet right now because I don't have that many subscribers yet, but I'm thinking as soon as I get to 100 subscribers, I'm gonna do a small giveaway just to help bring my community together. So it'd be a small little giveaway. I don't know what yet, but I'd figure that out after. But when I do that giveaway, I will let you guys know in that video. But if you gotta subscribe if you're not subscribed to help bring it up then. And then more than likely the way to be entered into the giveaway, it'll probably just be you need to comment something down below in that video. You're gonna have to probably for sure be subscribed, and then probably I'll have you guys like follow my Facebook page that way, and then I'll know. And you guys, that's the way you'll be entered. But right now, we're not going to do the giveaway right now yet. Just letting you know, if you're watching this video, please subscribe so that way we can get to that 100 faster. And then once we get to like 500 or a little bit more after that, we'll do another giveaway. And then I'll probably do another one when we get to 1,000. And then once we get bigger and bigger, I'll eventually do more giveaways. And then the bigger the giveaway, the more subscribers, the bigger the giveaway will be. So something simple, it'll probably be maybe like a gift card. Small gift card amount to a different craft store, or maybe like a roll of ribbon or something fun like that. So what I'm thinking we're gonna do is I'm gonna see how long this tail is gonna be. I'm gonna pinch at 17 for right now, just because I think it would look kind of cool if we like had the bow and then we tucked it in a little bit more, but I'm not sure yet. We can always, or unless we did a bow without tails and we just had it on top. I'm trying to think, you guys, what do I want to do? Since I don't want I don't know. So what we're gonna think, I think maybe, I don't know, I feel like a bow with the tails would help bring out you could have it up here, and I wouldn't have it hanging down, obviously. I'd probably have it like tucked in. So I think we're gonna start with a maybe 15-inch tail. I don't want it too long. I don't want it to go all the way down to the end of the end of the swag, but I want it to come down a little bit. So I think we'll start with maybe even a 12-inch tail. Maybe we'll start with 15-inch. So I'm going to pinch at 15. We're going to come up with a bow loop, and this one is going to be a 10-inch bow loop. So about a 5. Actually, no, we're going to go in with a 12-inch. I think we'll do a little bit smaller on the next one. So then, this isn't going to be a bow with a bunch of tails. It's going to be more of a simple bow with just the loops. So I'll pinch it another 12 inches, bring that guy down. Come in with another 12-inch loop, or it'll be a 6-inch loop, but obviously I'm measuring it at 12 inches so that it's the same. You can do a bigger bow if you decide to, or a smaller bow, any type of bow. Don't have to follow what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do what I think is gonna look best for this particular swag. Or actually, we need to go up, sorry. Okay. So I think we'll probably do 6 and 6, or maybe 8. Let me see how much. I think we'll do 8 to make it nice and full. Okay. Another 12-inch, and then one more 12-inch increment. Okay. And then we'll come in over here and we'll measure out 15 inches. A little bit bigger than 15 inches because this one's gonna have to come down behind everything. That scissors is terrible. I should just throw it away. I don't know why I keep throwing it back in here. Okay. And then I'm going to hold it in my hand yet while I do the next one. And then we'll put the twisty tie on together, or at the end. So we'll get that guy out of the way. So you still have a lot of ribbon left on that roll, since this is these are 10-inch or 10-yard rolls of ribbon. So then we're gonna come in with, I think we're gonna do about a 10-inch poof up in the front, just to help make it a little bit small, or it'll be a 5-inch poof, but we're gonna measure it at 10 inches, obviously. This is wired ribbon, in case anyone's wondering. I always use wired ribbon in any of my bows or any of my wreaths. It holds its shape a lot better, and it just helps make it look, it just makes it a lot better. It doesn't flop, it stays nice and firm. So yes, so what I'm gonna do is kind of just do a bunny ear test, just to make sure that all my loops are about the same size. And then I don't even need to go in anymore and measure. Once you get your first couple of loops, you can just go in and measure out. Well, for these ones, it's kind of hard. So I'll just measure for these guys. The bottom ones are usually the harder ones to do, because you have to move your ribbon the opposite direction, just because of it's like got a good side and a bad side, or a pretty and ugly side. That's what we usually call it. So yes, you could do both on the same length if you want to. I'm not, because I want to. It's just to you still be able to see the burlap in the back, but then also still be able to see the. Okay. Okay, and then you're gonna come back over here once you got all that, and you're gonna measure out another little bit over 15, just because of the fact that this ribbon has to come kind of over a little bit more, and it's gonna lose a little bit when it goes under the bow. And then we'll take our pipe cleaner that we picked up here. You can use floral wire if you decide to. What I do is I start here in the front, come up to the back, bring it up real nice, pull it real nice and tight, and twist it in the back. It's a very nice full bow. And then you can move your tails. I'm gonna bring my tails right on over this way, and like so, and bring these guys underneath these other two tails, like so. Bring this guy down. You could use a Bowdabra or any type of bow maker if you would like, if it's kind of hard, if you're not very good at making bows by hand. I usually do them by hand. I am not by all means good at a professional bow maker. Trust me guys, I still think I'm bad at it. It may look like I know what I'm doing, but sometimes I'm like, I can tell you, like about less than a month ago, I was not very good at making bows. You just need to practice. Practice makes perfect. As you can see, the ribbon tails are not the same length. I'm not worried about that right now. I'll worry about that more towards the end once I get it in there. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to just, I don't know why I did that in the beginning, but I actually brought the ribbon tails through from the back, or from the front actually. But, oh wait, never mind. This one is fine, I think. Okay. Wait, no, it's not fine. What is going on here? So you guys, I still make mistakes. Every wreath, no wreath maker is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes when they're making their wreath, but you just gotta learn. You're not gonna get better at making a bow if you don't practice making a bow. Sitting there with the ribbon just sitting there staring at the ribbon that's on your table is not going to help you get better at it unless you sit there and you try. You need to try. Practice, practice, practice. If you don't like it, let go of the rope, or let go of all the loops and try again. Unless you cut it, then you're kind of gonna have to get used to something, but if you don't cut it, all you have to do is let go of it and you'll have the same amount of ribbon, yet you might just have you might have to like flatten it out a little bit, just because it's gonna have some crinkles in it after you made your bow loops, but then you can redo it and practice a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm just going from the back around to the back, and I'm pulling my bow real tight around this big base. That way it's nice and secure, and I'll worry about the whole cutting and moving it around a little bit later. Worrying about this back so that way it doesn't scratch the wall. But for right now, I'm going to go in here with my hands, and I'm going to start fluffing my loops. You may think your bow is ugly right now because it's all squished and nothing is fluffed. But once you start fluffing your trust me guys, this is actually pink. I know right now on the camera it looks real red. I don't know why that is like that, but it is pink, trust me. It is like almost like this color pink, if you guys can see that. That might look like red to you guys, but it's actually almost about that color. So when we're working with the daisies later, if the daisies come across looking red and you're wondering why in the world is he adding red, it is not red, it's actually pink, but just my camera is picking it up a little bit different, which is odd, but we'll have to make do with what we got. So right now I'm just coming in with my bow loops in the back, and then I'm going to start with the front. These guys right here can come on down. They're going to actually have to go around like so. And come down like this. I'm probably not even in frame anymore, but it's really hard to work with a bow when it's so far away from you. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm always going to want to have the pink on top of that, and then I'll worry about the tails a little bit later once I get this all the loops fluffed and looking the way I want them to. This guy is going to have to come under. That way it's not showing at all. So just work with it. You tell the ribbon where you want it to go. Don't let the ribbon tell it where it wants to go. You're the person in charge. You pull it and do whatever you got to do to get it where you want it. Don't let it sit there and keep moving on you and telling it where it wants to go. You're in charge. Because my tail keeps on trying to go over to the left, but that's not where I want it. So I'm going to just keep on pulling on it. That way it don't go over there. I don't want it over there. So now I'm going to work on these smaller ones on the inside, the pink ones. As you can see, in most of my wreaths, I actually do more of just like a solid, simpler ribbon for my 2.5, and then I go in with more of a better, like a little bit more expensive designer, not designer, but like it had like a design or some kind of like picture on it. Like this one, I have more of a simple just burlap in the back, but then I came in with the more kind of more like detailed pink because it's got like the design on it. Just because 2.5 inch ribbon, obviously because you get more on the roll because it's a little bit bigger, it's going to be more expensive. So I kind of go with more of a simple, just to help cut down on the cost a little bit, and then I go in more with a kind of like I'd rather spend the money on the 1.5 inch a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of fluffing my bow loops. Don't worry about making them perfect. They're not gonna look exactly like this when I'm done flinging this thing around and doing all what I have to do with it. Just because when you're working with your ribbon or your bow, it's not gonna stay that way the whole time. And when you're done adding your florals and that kind of stuff, you can go back in and adjust it more at the end. Right now, just I get it to a little bit more of my liking, and then I go in back later with and I fix them a little bit more. So now what I'm doing is I'm kind of just seeing if I like the way that looks, which doesn't look too bad. Maybe later, who knows, maybe later on I'll decide that I don't like the way the tails look and I might cut them off. But for right now, I think it looks pretty good. That was weird. Pretty good. That doesn't make any sense. Sometimes, do you guys ever just do that where you're talking and you just say 2 words after, like you're talking, and then next thing you know, you like say something, but you say it twice, and then you just keep on talking like it's normal? Or is it just me? It might be just me. Who knows? I think I'm gonna like it where the pink is coming in the middle, so it's like kind of like the same on both ends. You know what I'm saying, you guys? And you could actually, and we'll see what this looks like, you could come up like this and roll up your ribbon and then pull it down like this. And let's see what that looks like. Maybe you could also come in with some artificial tails where you add different tails in that aren't even connected to the bow. Sometimes I do that if I decide I like something different, but my tails aren't as long as I should have cut them. You can always come back in with some more tails. Just cut them at the length you want, add them to like a pipe cleaner or a twisty tie, and I kind of like that actually. I actually do kind of like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our, this guy is not curling as well as I want him to. There. I'll probably cut them later just to make sure that they're all the same length, because right now some of them aren't the same length. But I'll worry about that a little bit later, and we'll see what we do. But we're going to start off with some greenery because we want to get rid of this whole Christmassy winter type of look. So I'm going to come in with some boxwood first. This is a cheap boxwood that I get at Walmart. It's not like cheap in the quality manner, but it's just cheap in the price, which is good. You're getting a good quality item for a little bit less. And I get this at Walmart if I didn't say that already. So yes, it's not cheaply made. it's just more of it's like a cheap greenery that I like to add in first before I come in with more of my expensive greenery. So I have my hot glue gun plugged in, so if you see me reaching over here, I don't want to have it too close to the what am I trying to say? Too close to the garland or the swag, because I don't want to get hot glue in the pine needles. But I'm just going to come in here and just add it all in here. Try to hide the look of the green base of our, because they don't sell at least on the wreath shop, they don't sell like spring base teardrop swags. It's more just like the evergreen look, which is fine. You just have to add greenery and it won't even look Christmassy anymore. Like just adding this greenery, it's starting to help bring it out a little bit, and we only added like 4 stems. So yes, it's gonna help bring it out a little bit more full. If you're even buying this for Christmas, I'd still probably go in with some more Christmassy greenery, just because it's gonna make it look a little bit more full. Right now it's full-ish, but it looks a little empty in some spots. So even if I was using this for Christmas, I would still come in with some different Christmas greenery. So yeah, we'll be making some Christmas swags a little bit closer to Christmas time, probably in beginning of September, maybe end of August for sure. Mid-September, I'll for sure be working on Christmas. I'm already started fall already, and it's only May 5th, or May 6th, I think, actually. No, it is May 5th. Yesterday was May 4th. Today is Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. Okay. So I'm going to actually just use one more thing of this boxwood, just as more of a simple greenery. Put my pen over here. Okay. And as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm actually just turning these and making them a little bit more fluffed out, because they're a little bit squished together right now. So yeah, I'm just adding them right into the greenery. Make sure you apply a good amount of hot glue. Don't skimp on the hot glue. Be pretty generous. I'm always very generous on the hot glue. I don't want any of my greenery or any of my flowers or anything I'm adding into my wreaths or garlands or floral arrangements or anything you're working with to fall out on the customer. That just wouldn't make it look, just wouldn't look good for you. You want to make sure they shake this thing real fat, real hard. Nothing is gonna fall out, and that's a good. So usually when I'm done with my wreaths, I don't really show it on camera, but sometimes I will go in with my I'll grab it and I'll shake it a little bit to make sure nothing is coming out. And if something comes out, I just put some more hot glue on it, and I know it's not going to fall off now. Especially if you're going to be shipping them. In shipping, you don't want anything to fall off. You don't want your customer to open up their box and there would be greenery laying on the bottom when they take their wreath out. That just wouldn't look good for you. You don't want to, and you also don't want to make, when you're shipping, you don't want your item to get squished. You want your wreath or your floral arrangement or whatever you're making to come out of the box and they can put it right on their wall. That's one thing that I learned when I've been watching videos, is some people are going to want to skimp out and try to go with a real skinny box, a real small box, that way it's less shipping costs for their customer. But you don't want your wreath or your swag or anything to look, or to be all squished and ruined. You want it to come, you want the same wow factor when they saw it in the picture when they opened the box. It should look exactly the same. So yes, one thing is make sure you always make your customer happy. Don't skimp on even shipping or hot glue, because it can make a difference. Adding a little bit more hot glue can make you another sale. Because if someone goes to your, say you send this wreath to a lady across the state or across the country, not like across the United States, and she bought it on your Etsy shop and She loved it. She got it. You sent it to her in the box. You skimped on the hot glue when you sent it to her, or when you were making it. When she pulled it out of the box, when it finally arrived to her, when she got the wreath out of the box, there was like 4 flowers and a couple stems of greenery laying on the box yet. Then she's gonna have to go in with her hot glue gun, if she even has one, or something to help get it back together. And then when she hangs it up on her door, and someone comes over and says, "Oh my gosh, where did you get that wreath from?" And then they say the company, she's gonna say, "I suggest you don't buy it because I suggest you buy it from somewhere else because when I got it, there was picks everywhere." So then that person's gonna, when they go and buy their wreath, they're not gonna come to your shop because they heard a bad review from you. They might say, "Oh, well, we'll give them another try," but more than likely they're gonna take their friend's advice and they're gonna say, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna buy it from them." So that was just a sale. That was a $60 wreath that they might have liked that you could have sold, but instead you decided to save an extra $3 on your hot glue because you decided not to use that much hot glue. So I might have went into a little bit more detail on that, just using more hot glue than you should, but that's a tip for you if you sell on Etsy. I do not sell on Etsy yet, but when I do, I'll make sure, for sure, I use a decent sized box where it's not going to get squished, and I already do right now when I'm making my wreaths now. I don't skip on the hot glue. I want my customer to be happy, and I don't want anything falling out of the wreath. If one falls out on accident, it may happen. But if you're going to sit here and skimp on the hot glue a lot, more than likely you're going to have a bunch of different ones coming out. So just always come back in. Even if your hot glue skillet's not working that much, you can always go back in with some hot glue with your hot glue gun at the end and put a little bit on just to make sure it's secure and it ain't going anywhere. So, I have one more pick of this boxwood, and then we'll go in with some more greenery. So look at guys, it's already starting to look real, not Christmassy, no winter, and we've only added, what, 3 stems, I think, of this? Yeah, 3 stems. Oh, see, that hot glue came out. There wasn't enough on there, so just put a little bit more on there. Then go back in and stick it in there. Make sure you can feel it like sticking into somewhere where you know it's not going to fall out. And then always pull off your hot glue. That's another thing. Don't leave your hot glue strings on your wreath. After you're done making your wreath or your swag, for instance, go through and pick out all your hot glue strings. Don't put it on your rack, and then when it sells, put it in the box and send it to them with all the hot glue strings on it. That's not going to give it a very good look. Another thing is when you're going to be selling on Etsy or anytime you're shipping, when you're boxing it up, make sure you go back in and fluff it up again. It might be sitting on your wall for 15 days and it might have got flat and the bow might have lost the loops. Send it and fluff it again before you packaging it. So I could have just done a whole video on Etsy, but trying to give you something else to learn when I'm making this, not just sitting here boring you guys out, just sitting here adding greenery, because I know the greenery is not always the fun part. It's adding all the flowers and that kind of stuff, but you got to add the greenery in order to add your flowers, because you always need to have greenery if you're working with flowers. So yeah, like I said, your guys' bow, your bow is gonna get flat working with this because you are mixing it around and doing all sorts of stuff with it. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pick out my stem of greenery. There's a bunch of different greenery stems you could pick from. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's actually, no, I'm not gonna go with this one. This one's not the mixture one. This one is though, I think. A couple different stems of greenery that I have over here. This one's got mixture fern plants, so it's got a mixture of different greeneries. That's the one I'm gonna use. So it brings in a little bit more texture. And I'm gonna save, if you're selling, make sure you always save your tickets, you guys. That way when you're adding your wreath up, you can go back on to your order. I always go on to my order receipt once I get it in my email, And then I go and I what am I trying to say, you guys? I do not know what I'm trying to say. I go in and I try and I look at the price, and so that way I know which greenery I added, and then I can add that into my swag, for instance, or when you're working with a wreath. That way you know how much you're gonna charge. Don't just guess, because you could be thinking that this is a different one, but it's actually not. It is actually garland. It was actually a different one, and then you lost some money because some of these greenery bushes, they all look the same, but they're really not. This one might look the same as this one, but this one might be $8 and this one might be $12. But if you think it's the $8 one, but it was actually the $12 one, and you charge them $8 for it, then you just lost $4 on that thing. So make sure you always go in and make sure it's the same one. So I always save my tags, and if you guys can see, after I finish one of my greeneries, you'll see me go in. I actually go in, I write this down on a sticky note. So for instance, I put down the prices of all those little those boxwoods. I put the price down, that way I know. That way I'm not going at the end, oh, how many boxwoods did I use? Did I use 4 or did I use 5? So I make sure I actually put it in, because that way I know for sure that I used 3, for instance, for this wreath. So just a couple tips if you're selling. If you're making it for your house, you don't really have to do this. Or you have it all marked already and you already priced it before you even started. Sometimes, I don't usually do that, because sometimes I don't go in with the same materials as I chose. I might go in thinking I'm going in with this, but then at the end of the wreath, I didn't even use that. Or I used this and I wasn't even planning on using it. So yeah, I just wait till the end. So right now I'm actually picking these guys off the picks, these greeneries, because it's a little bit big and I just don't want them to I don't want them all to be in the same cluster. So I'm going in with this smaller one, especially because this isn't going to be it's not that far down. If it was a wreath, I might keep it on the pick, all of it, just because it's going to have to go down a little bit farther. But for this one, it doesn't have to go down as far, working with a swag. So leave in the comments below, you guys, if you guys like making swags, or if you've ever made a swag. They're kind of fun. You can do a lot of different things. You can make all sorts of swags for all sorts of things. You could add a sign into a swag too if you wanted to. I have another swag form that I bought when I bought this one, so I have the ribbons already planned. I think I'm going to make one with some hydrangeas. If you guys want to see that video, or see that, comment down below, or give me a thumbs up if you want to see that. If you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you subscribe, that way you don't miss any of my videos, and then you can also turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time I upload a video. So yeah, so that was just one whole pick, you guys. So now I have just another one of these picks that I'm using. So you don't have to use all one pick. You can go in with multiple different picks and use all sorts of different ones. I'm gonna come in with this guy, and I'm gonna probably go down in here. He's a little bit bigger, but I kind of tuck him in a little bit more. As you guys can see, I'm really shoving him down in there. That way I know for sure he ain't coming out, and he is gonna be fine down in there. So now I'm just gonna come in here and fluff any of this greenery. Okay. So then I just take these guys and I pull them right off the pick. He's a little stuck under here. How's this video doing? Always mess around with your picks, fluff them out a little bit. Make sure that they're all looking good before you add them. I'm gonna come up here and add some up here in this little guy. Just because you can always make sure you always add them up by your bow too. Don't always add them all down here, because they're gonna see by the bow too. It's not just by the I need like a little actually we'll cut this guy and we'll add this we'll cut this to what we like, and then we'll use this in here. I'll just add a little bit of hot glue, stick them up in there, and then pull it tight, and then he should be fine up in there. That way it's a little bit longer, because the other ones were a little bit too short, and you couldn't really see it once I added it all the way down in there, because I didn't have a little stem to it. So yeah, you could also add a steel picks using your steel pick machine for this, if you want to. It's not that hard to add these guys in there for this one. They're going in real easily, at least for me they are. You might have a different type of swag, but for me they are. So let's look at how just adding 3 stems of boxwood and so far we've only used 2 little stems of this big bush of greenery, and it's already looking springy and summery. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to roll up my tails so that way they're not in the way, and then that way they'll get more firm. And then at the end we'll figure out how we want to do this, or probably once I start adding flowers, that way I know where to add my flowers. But for right now they're kind of getting in my way, so we're going to roll them up. You could cut off your tails if you didn't want tails. I think I like the tails. They're gonna bring a little bit more color to my wreath, but I'm just gonna roll them up for now. So I think we're gonna use just another stem of this greenery pick. Like I said, all these materials came from the Wreath Shop. Go check them out online. It's thewreathshop.com. They have a lot of different stuff. They've got ribbon. They have ribbon, mesh, work forms, florals, greenery, all your signs, your different add-ins that you add into your wreath. They got picks, they got these swags, they have all sorts of stuff for your wreath making fun. So go check them out. They ship really fast. They're very fast at their shipping, so that's a plus, because when you order something, you want it to come right away. So yeah, especially right now since a lot of the stores are closed, where you can at least go and get some stuff. Some stores are starting to open and do or curbside pickup, but a lot of like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, they don't have all the stuff you need for wreath making, so sometimes you have to buy it online. So, and right now, yep, the Wreath Shop is still open, so they're still shipping. They didn't close due to this. I did order something from Craft Outlet a couple weeks ago, and they were closed, but then they opened up again like a week later, so then it came pretty fast after that. So you can also check out Craft Outlet if you would like. I think the Wreath Shop's shipping is a little bit faster, but yes. So there's also different online shops. There's like Trends and Gems, there is Trendy Tree, there is Craft Outlet, the Wreath Shop, there is some Etsy shops you can check out. There's Deco Exchange, there is Ranch House. So there's a bunch of different shops that you could check out if you are trying to find some stuff for your wreath, but you don't know where to shop online. So what I'm going to do next is I think I'm going to come in with a couple of at least one pick of this stuff. And this stuff is, I think it's called Boston Fern. It doesn't say on the tag, so I'm pretty sure when I unboxed it this morning, when I was reading well actually, you guys, I can actually go right here because I actually have the thingy. Yep, it's called the Boston Fern Spray. And this is called, the actual swag that I bought was PVC Teardrop Form Green 24-inch. So yeah. If you're looking to buy a wreath, or you're trying to make a swag, I'd suggest you try one of these swags. So what I'm doing right now is I cut that in half But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut or peel off the first two sets of leaves. That way I can get my hot glue in there and I can have a nice place to add in and go down with my pick. You're not going to see that there's no leaves on it anyways. It's going to be way down in there, so don't really worry about it too much. And then I'm going to do that with this one too. And then I'm going to add this guy over here. So you can add as much greenery as little greenery as you choose. I'm going to come in with a couple different types just to give it a little bit of a variety. I think I need something over here. So, how's everyone's wreath making? Everyone been busy wreath making since there's nothing else to do and everyone's cooped up in their house? I've been working a lot of wreaths. I have school during the day because I'm still in high school, so I have to do online school. I have one more month of that, so then I'll be done, and then I'll be able to work on some more wreath. And by that time, hopefully I can have my Etsy shop open. By the time school ends, I'll probably be starting to work on my fall wreaths, getting those started, because fall will be here before you know it, everyone. And then, well, actually, I'll probably start working on Halloween, because usually people put their Halloween wreaths up before they start fall, or some people don't put Halloween up at all, they just put fall. So yeah, I'll be starting that, so pretty soon I'll actually be making my next order online for my fall stuff. It's like so hard to believe that I'm going to be starting to do fall, and it's only May yet. But when you're a wreath maker or any home decor, you always have to be ahead of the game. I got my 4th of July stuff done really early this year. I'm already done. I've been done since like the end of mid-April, I think, actually. It's crazy. If I have any custom orders for one, I'll still do one. But yes, I have a couple, like 2 or 3 more summer wreaths that I want to make yet. But then I'm done with summer. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel like summer barely even started yet, but I have so many. I want to clear my inventory just to make sure. I don't want to make too many. If I start selling a lot of them, then I'll probably go in and make a couple more. Just that way I have a couple more yet. But yes. And I thought about maybe making some Christmas wreaths, like a couple, using some of my different Christmas stuff that I have on hand, and maybe doing like a little Christmas in July like pop-up sale on like my Facebook page or something for any of my Facebook friends, just to give me something to do and something to make, give me a little head start for Christmas, because Christmas in July is always fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quick grab these guys. You could save these little leaves and use them in a project or something. I don't ever see myself using them. I'd probably keep them and they just sit in the bottom of my greenery bin forever and ever and ever and never get used. So yeah, we're just gonna throw them away. But if you have something you could do, you can always save them and use them for that. If you guys hear any noises, my family is upstairs, so I'm actually in the basement, so if you hear all the noises from upstairs, you're gonna hear down here. So I apologize for that if you hear that. So yeah, adding just this greenery. I might need a little bit more coming down here just to help bring it out a little bit more. But otherwise, yes, I love the way these other little guys came out. So I'm trying to think of any other greenery that I have that I could add in here. I have a little bit. This is the one that I used, so I'm trying to think. I have some little no, I don't want to use those. Those are a little ugly. I don't think those look more tropical. I have this, which is what is this? This is a mixed fern bush. I don't know if I already used something like this, or maybe I haven't. No, I definitely haven't. Okay, I think we're gonna use some of this mixed fern. this also came from the wreath shop. Oh, all this, I already said that. So yeah, just, I think there's a couple different things on here that are a little bit different, just to bring in some different textures in here and a little bit more of a variety. This looks kind of fun. A little bit of texture. There's like some like brown, like furry stuff on this one. Do you see that, you guys? It's like furry. Pretty cool. Again, if you cut off your stem, you might have to rip off some leaves. That way you have a nice area where you can add some hot glue and get it down in there. Otherwise the leaves might help, or gonna maybe stop it so you can't get it in there all the way. And then I just add it in. For instance, this one, I had to pull it off a little bit more, but it's fine. It's gonna look amazing. I'm gonna add this guy right down here into the bottom. It's not going in right now. Just work it down in there. There we go. So that's gonna help bring out a little bit more down here on the end, instead of just having a boring old little, like, odd little guy hanging out here. Yes, I'm not gonna be using the whole stem. I'm just gonna come in with a couple different little pieces from this that I see. I see right here is a blank spot where I see a lot of the greenery that came in that's from the swag. So I'm gonna come in here with a little bit more, some of this greenery to help bring that and put that out of there. I think we're gonna come in with one more of these little guys with the little furry stuff on it. Who knows? I don't even know what the heck that is, but it's something. Brings out a little bit of texture. It looks a little bit cooler. Pretty cool. It's a little messed up. A big hot glue string right there. So yeah, so you guys, this is coming out so good. It's starting to look so cool. So don't be afraid to go and buy some Christmas swags just because they're they're not even labeled Christmas. I think you can use them for everything, but when you look at them, your first instinct or your first thought is Christmas. But there's a lot of different things that are Christmas that you can use any time of the season, like mesh. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys want me to make a video on me talking about Christmas, like Christmas supplies all year round. Because you know, after Christmas, they have all the different sales on all the different stores getting after Christmas. And you can go out and buy a lot of different stuff, craft stuff that's labeled Christmas, but you can use it in all holidays, or a lot of holidays. You can use different stuff. For instance, if you go out after Christmas and buy a crap ton of red deco mesh, just because it's red and it has Christmas wrapping on it, you guys know a lot of my red deco mesh that I have, it's all Christmas. Just because it says red or Christmas on it doesn't mean it's going to be for Christmas. I use mine for 4th of July. I used one up here actually for my watermelon wreath. I used mine for 4th of July, patriotic, Valentine's Day, Christmas, obviously. But yeah, you can use it for all sorts of seasons. Don't think because it has a Christmas label on it means that I only can use it for Christmas, because you can't. So yeah, and like ornaments, if you get the colored packs of ornaments, you get some blue ornaments, you can use them for winter, you can use them for 4th of July, you can use them for all sorts of different holidays. Just because it's an ornament doesn't mean you have to use it just for Christmas. Now I don't know where my, oh, right there he went. Right there he is. I was like, I don't know where my wire cutters went. These guys are really hard to cut. Usually they're not as thick as that, but this one, this sure was thick. So I'm trying to think where I want this guy to come out. I thought about maybe having him come out the bottom too, which I think that might help bring out the bottom and help finish it off a little bit more. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick him down here in the center and then pull him down this way. So there, that's like the ending of our wreath. So, or our wreath, not our wreath, our teardrop swag. So yeah, look at that, you guys are ready. Just adding that greenery helped bring it out, bring it a lot better of a spring feel to it. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to come in with my, I don't know, I think I should start with I should do my flowers and then I can do the rest of the stuff after that. So I'm gonna actually let down my streamers and see how they look right now. I think they look pretty cool. They're looking pretty cool. I just said that twice again. See, you guys? I was just talking about that. How I say stuff a lot. Like, two times. Okay. I think that looks so cool, but I don't know why. This guy's a lot more curly than these guys. Unless here, let's see what it looks like when we tuck it in. We could always just tuck them down in here and let them all tuck it all down in. And just let it lay down in there. That's always an option. And just, it'll bring out the color a little bit, but it won't be hanging in our way. Because once we get our flowers in here, I'm not gonna wanna sit here and, I wanna kinda work my flowers around where the bow is, or the streamers are. And then we'll figure it out. So I'm gonna come back when I figure out how I wanna do this. I'll figure this out because it might take me a while. It's gonna probably take me a good couple minutes to figure out how I want this, the tails, but I'll come back when I know what I wanna do. Okay, I had to go, I finally decided that I think I like them long. Actually, I went up and asked my mom. Me and my mom were discussing how we would like it. And then she was saying how she doesn't know if I should add the flowers, because she feels like they're gonna take over, but I don't know. So we're gonna actually cut a flower quick and just see how we like it. She might be right. But she's also not very much of a flower person, so that's also kind of like, okay, well, it's also like, okay, well, if you're not a flower person, obviously you're not gonna like flowers in your wreath, so, but I think, I think they'll look fine. I don't think they're gonna look like bad or anything. I mean, not like they're not going to add into her, like, arrangement, or, like, it's not going to, like, what am I trying to say? It'll at least be, it's going to match what she has in her house, because that's why I picked these flowers, is for the, I think, just going like this. Sometimes I have to go ask my mom for her opinion, because I'm like, okay, sometimes I like this, but then it's like and then I'm like, okay, well then her opinion's like, I'm not seeing what it's really happening, so it's like, okay. But I think I like, oh, I'm not even having it in frame. I like the way that looks. And then we got these guys to save for something else, because I'm not going to add them colors in there. So I'm going to cut 3 roses quick, so I can add these guys somehow. And figure out if I like that, the roses in there. Take the tag off of them. I think the roses will look fine in there. Okay. I don't know how it's gonna look, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. I think like a rose up in here. I don't know if it's too overpowering, and that will just take away from the look of the bow. Or if it's actually, I think it would look cool. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I think it would look good. And maybe if I keep the white roses up here, and I add in the daisies down there, and then I use the white, whatchamacallit, like the white berry bush thingy that I had with the little like cotton thingies. If I had them, if I put this guy on top maybe. I like working with, it's not always the case that you work with thirds, but sometimes it is. For instance, this case, I think if I I think just like some of those white daisies in there with the, or not white daisies, white roses in there. I think I like the way this looks. I think I really like the way it looks. Or I do like the way it looks, I don't think. Okay. Except for the fact that I'm gonna have to, probably gonna cut this guy. Where did my scissors go? Right there. I think I'm gonna cut these different lengths, and I think I'm actually gonna dovetail them too. Do this guy a little bit longer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there. Actually, I think I want this a little bit shorter yet. I'm gonna do one, like, one side a little bit shorter on the burlap with a little bit longer on the pink, and then the other one, which I think is gonna look good because then I can use the, yeah, like that. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, I'm not gonna add anything into it yet because I'm still gonna leave them without any, you know, I'm not gonna, what am I trying to say, you guys? I'm literally going crazy. I'm not gonna put hot glue on them yet because I want to just wait until I know for sure that's how I'm gonna like it. So right now I'm gonna come in with some of this white just to bring in some white down here. The flower arrangement had some other like white berry thingy looking like this. Didn't look exactly like this, it had smaller berries on it, but I think it will look fine yet with these like this because I think these are gonna look so cool and they're gonna kind of like drape in there and that kind of stuff. So this is gonna look so much better. I think this is looking so much better. I actually think that the flowers are gonna look good in here. I might not be taking my mom's advice for this one, but she also said that she's not a flower person, so obviously if you're not a flower person, you're not gonna want flowers into your arrangement, but this isn't for her. So this thing is, I don't know, it's very sheddy. It is shedding a lot of these little thingies, which is kind of annoying because, like, why are they all falling off of here? But they look cool, so we're still gonna add them. Just hopefully that they don't shed too many more because I don't want to have them, I didn't buy them for them to all like come off and not come and just be gone. These things are gonna look, they're bringing down the white from the up on top and it's gonna look so much cooler, you guys. I think I like this. I like the way this looks. See, so just work with it until you decide how you want it. Sorry, that noise is my cat. She has like an automatic feeder, so we don't have to feed her like at a certain time, just so if we're gone, she still gets fed at 5 o'clock. So yeah, if you heard that noise, it's her automatic feeder that came off. Let me just make sure I'm filming it. My phone was dying before, so I had to quick grab a charger. That way it wouldn't die halfway through my video. But I don't think I'm gonna use all these, obviously, because I think that would be too much white. But I'm gonna add a couple more. I think I want like a little bit of a spray down here towards the bottom, just to bring out a little bit more white down in here. And my head is probably just what's in the camera, but whatever, whatevs. Okay, so I think we're gonna add a little bit of it in here. I'm actually gonna somehow like put something on, maybe some tape, just to help make it a little bit thicker on the stem of this guy. Okay, there. We stopped videotaping for some reason, you guys, so I don't know where I was at when it stopped, but what I'm doing right now is adding the flowers. I actually, first I was like, oh, I'm about to be done, and then I realized that I forgot to even hot glue the flowers in there. So I apologize, I didn't go back and see where I ended this, or where I was talking. I'm pretty sure I was probably just like adding the white somewhere. If I didn't say it already, or you guys didn't, or it cut out before that, I added these little white fluffy things in here. So yeah. What am I looking for? Oh, the flowers. I'm like, what was I just doing? Adding the flowers. So yeah, I have to add some hot glue to these flowers because I didn't put them in before. I just waited. I was gonna wait and I wanted to see what it looked like. But yes, I think this is gonna look pretty good. I wonder if someone called me. Usually that's what happens. If someone calls me and I don't have my ringer on, usually that's what happens when I'm filming. It's like I do have to like text everyone or like put on, there's probably a button I can hit on my phone. Maybe I'll check that out. That way if someone calls me, it like, do not interrupt or do not disturb right now. So it doesn't give me any. Okay, why isn't this flower going in there? Oh, there we go. So I just have 3 roses on top, and then I got my 3 pink daisies on the bottom. Over here, kind of going in like a crisscross or like a zigzag pattern. So one over here, and then one down here. And I kind of worked my white berry type stuff around that. Okay, why isn't he coming out? Not being cooperative today, flowers. I bet you someone called me. I'll have to check that out. And then it always stops the video. That happened in one of my other videos. And the other video, I was actually doing it the other day. I didn't catch it, but today, actually my dad called me today when I was doing my unboxing, but I caught it so I could answer it, and then I went back to the video. So yeah. So if you guys didn't, if I don't know if it cut out before, but I cut the ribbons different sizes. That way it would be different, kind of a little bit of different in it. So yes, you guys, I think we're done adding stuff in it. We got a little bit more of this stuff. Well, we're not going to add it in because I don't think I want to add that into it. You could add in these white daisies too if you wanted to, but I think we got enough white. If I had to do anything else, I'd probably add a little bit more pink up here, which I don't have any pink, I don't think. I don't have any pink, I don't think. No, I don't have much pink left, so I think we're just gonna do with what we got right now. So I don't think we need to add anything else into it. So I think we finished it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take down this grapevine wreath and or this grapevine one, and then I'm gonna add in, or put this guy up on the, put it up on the wall to show you guys. I'm gonna grab these hot glue strings that are here in the back, and then after that, I'm gonna do this quick. I'm gonna take my thing and pick out any of these stems that came through the back. That way they're not scratching anyone's door or anything like that. So there's a couple of different ones. Be careful when you're doing this because they can pop you right in the eye. Almost had that happen the other day. I'm like, what's dangling? But that's just this white. It's just this white stuff. So yes, it does come with a nice hanger. So it kind of blends in. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually, here I gotta actually, before I do that, we need to quick fluff this bow. That way it's nice and fluffed for you guys when you guys see it. But I'll probably go back through once I end this video and re-fluff it again. Just get it enough fluffed, just enough to that way I can show you guys what it looks like. I might have to readjust some of the different loops and stuff if I don't like it when it's hanging up. And I might add some more greenery if I see any spots where it's very empty. But for right now, I'm gonna actually probably climb on this table to hang this guy up because it's very high up in the hanger. Oh, I think I got it. No, where is it? Okay, right there. Okay, this looks so good, you guys. I'm gonna have to like adjust it a teeny bit because it is kind of so you guys are gonna go off the camera or off the tripod. But there is the swag, you guys. So it's got the bow on top. I'm gonna have to adjust the bow over a little bit, or actually I'm gonna have to flatten down the back because it's a little wobbly. But otherwise, yes, there's another roseway up on top if you guys don't see that. But I might have to move this guy. I feel like I need to move this guy down a teeny bit, so I might do that right now. Actually, it's coming down. I'm gonna have to add and pop this guy out a little bit. But otherwise, yes, you guys, this looks so good. I wish I had another. I feel like I wish I had another flower to add right there, but I don't have anything. So, but otherwise, you guys, I love the way this looks. It's perfect for it. Like matches her like her thing real well. If I actually think about it, I'll probably add in a picture of the arrangement that she had already, and then I'll put that in the video so that way you guys can see what it's gonna look like if I remember. So I'll make sure I write a note to add that when I'm editing this video. But yes, so I'll make sure I do that. But otherwise, you guys, this is the swag for today. Let me know if you like making swags or if you liked this video, and make sure to subscribe so that way when we get to 100 I can do the giveaway. Until then, you guys, have a great day or night or whenever you're watching this. Goodbye. So this is the floral arrangement I based the swag off of.